Renovating the house. Your life is like your house. In the wake of grief, you're going to do some renovation. Renovation to your life, and maybe even renovation to your house. Let me tell you what we did. Torn apart. Our house was literally and completely torn apart. What started as a leak in the master bedroom turned into a major renovation. Our entire kitchen and former dining room were torn down to the studs. We were living in 2 rooms of our house. Our refrigerator was in the living room. We had been eating out for too long. Our torn apart house felt like my torn apart life. The physical ripping apart of our lives was as excruciatingly painful as the emotional devastation. We found drawings of Leah's in the back of drawers, more reminders that she was once here and no longer. I wondered if anything would ever seem normal again. Would everything always be overshadowed by Leah's absence? Our house would be finished, eventually. It would be better than it was before, bigger and more beautiful. Could I say the same thing about my life? Were we renovating our entire house to avoid our feelings of grief? The renovation was taking its toll on us. It went on longer than we thought it would. Dust was everywhere, and we were tired of the disruption. In a way, it did feel like our grief. It felt like it would never end. In the middle of all the disruption, I was inspired to paint, and I wondered where it came from. I hadn't painted for a long time, at least since before Leah died, maybe longer. What was I going to paint? Better question, what was I going to paint on? The need to paint was urgent. I walked around the house looking for paper. I walked into the kitchen, or what would be the kitchen, and saw the studs in the back of the living room drywall. I heard myself say, "That's it. I'll paint the studs and behind the wall." It was brilliant. I hadn't felt that excited since... Wait, feeling of horror. I felt excited? I felt inspired? How could that be? My daughter was dead. That right there was good enough reason to never feel good or happy or excited again. No, I told myself, I can't paint the walls. It wouldn't be right. But as that thought passed through my mind, I found myself putting water in containers, setting out brushes, and squeezing paint onto my palette. As I started painting, I painted all of our names. Dan, Peter, Leah, and our pets, Willow, Mabel, and Oreo. I wrote, "Our hearts are forever connected." I painted free-form shapes, whatever I was inspired to paint. I painted the studs, too. I left a mark on the house. I felt so free, more like myself than I had since... Oh no, there it was again. What was happening? I sat down and looked at my paintings. It felt somewhat risque to be painting the walls, even though I knew they would be covered up. If I felt like myself, did that mean I was healing? If I healed, did that mean I'd forget about Leah? That she wouldn't be a part of my life anymore? What does healing from the death of my daughter mean anyway? Those questions haunted me. If I were to be honest, they've been haunting me for some time. At the beginning of this renovation, on Leah's 20th birthday, I received inspiration that Leah's room would be my new studio. I fought this idea for a while. I didn't want to change her room. Changing her room would mean that she wasn't coming back. Changing her room would mean that I was not preserving her memory. Changing her room would mean that I was healing, that I was ready to let a part of her go, that I was ready to give away her things, and I wasn't ready. At least I wasn't ready until I painted the walls. Then I knew that I was ready, that the grief work that I had done had cracked open a sliver of light and faith, and that I was on the right path. After I painted the walls, I knew healing was possible.